competition.
You actually get to sit up here. Yes, because you have to face them.
Service and
No, I want you to, we don't face us for meetings, we face the people. So, sorry.
The three belts, red, green, yellow.
I want to let everybody know that the stream is live.
Sweet.
And the mic is hot. We are working. They can hear us. Not that that's a problem. Not that we're saying things they don't need to. I just want to be transparent that anybody that should log in can see us.
I would not have made that either.
I'm sorry you had to tag out early, but.
No.
Everybody had to get to work and everything.
Yeah. I just wanted to know that.
So your chat should come in over here.
Appreciate it, and I'm sorry it took to get it done. But
I've got some people back in the Tulsa area who are checking the stream and make sure that we can. Facebook won't let her post the updated.
Do you need it?
Yeah, I'm getting a notice that my connection is unstable. Are you willing?
Just give me a second. I may need to plug her in or do it. We're good to go.
Oh, hang on. It says we're live.
But we're really half dead.
Okay, so watch for that warning.
Yeah.
I'm gonna just lay that.
Right there.
We're good right now? We're gonna leave it be?
All right.
See if it pops up.
No touching.
Okay, back to our chat. Yes, we're live again. Go ahead.
All right, so we're going to go over the quick pros of
Sorry.
what Hamlet can do. According to the packages, you can host ANS gatherings, fighting practice as long as you have an authorized fighting marshal. You can hold public demos. You can still, at least one paid member has to be present and your designated person as your representative has to be present. Participate in SCA activities abroad, as a general whole. We want you to get involved with the rest of the group. We also want you to, you can also get sponsored, do sponsored activities like that. Chemin Noir is going to help Wildwood out at their event, for example. The things that you're going to need are at least one paid member, a committed SCA sorry, words just lost me. One representative and someone is committed to the value of the SCA. Not much required. Let's see here. This is designed for smaller groups, rural communities, groups that want to rest for a while, because I know many of you have held many hats for a very long time. This gives you an opportunity to go, okay, I can breathe now. And it also allows your group to still maintain a presence within the barony and SCA at large. Like I said, the only drawback is you guys are under the supervision of the barony or the supporting barony. You'll no longer have funds or a bank account, not funds, but a bank account. It becomes part of the colonial, which we're going to set yours into a designated fund so that your money is neatly tucked away. Checker has already said we're good on that. And I think that's about it. Did I miss anything, Your Excellencies?
I just want to make sure that they don't have any questions for us. Go ahead, ask.
Okay, so, I have been disconnected from this group for a while,
Okay.
and I just hear things on the radio. So I am curious, why did we decide to have this meeting and why now?
Well, about 3 months ago, we were first contacted about doing this,
By who?
by Aki.
Okay,
It was,
that's cool.
it
I
was,
just give me
it
all
was
the
an
background.
experiment put out from the board of directors to SCA at Broad.
Right.
She heard about it, she asked us to inquire about it.
Aki heard about it from me.
Okay, that's cool.
Okay, and Aki heard about it from me because they were having issues finding people to fill their officer positions. There are lots of new people and lots of new life coming into Chemin Noir right now,
Yeah.
but they don't have any SCA experience. And so the comfort level of signing in to be an officer isn't here.
That's true.
And so we found ourselves, and Aki, by all means, please correct me if I'm
Yeah,
wrong,
please.
loud and proud, because we are trying to make the right decisions.
Yep.
And the options were take another bout of dormancy, which would be the third bout of dormancy for Chemin Noir, or let's talk about this Hamlet option, or we shut it down. And we didn't feel that shutting it down was the right decision because, as we said, there's new life here.
Right.
We're drawing new people in. We're not saying that we're not here. We just need a way that we can be here and be loud and proud with what we have and give them the opportunity to grow and develop that time.
That's fair. I'm not
I know.
about accusations
No.
or I don't feel any way one way or the other.
I know, but as
I just wanted to.
as the Baroness, I needed to explain
Oh, absolutely.
the option of why we presented this as an option.
Absolutely, and I appreciate that. I just, it's kind of like, whoa, what happened here when I wasn't looking, so, no harm, no foul.
Yeah, no, I don't feel like we were in the wrong. If I,
So, if anybody feels like I was not,
no.
please don't take it that way at all.
One thing I failed to mention was, say in 2 years' time, you guys want to stand back up as a Canton, you're allowed to do that.
That was another question that I had is, A, how long? I guess
There
we
is
just
no
need to-
time limit
Yes,
as of right now.
And so
Yes.
I guess we get to learn whether or not we ping pong again later on down the road.
So a question has been asked in the chat. When we create a dedicated fund in the Barony of Northkeep, we normally put a time limit on that.
Correct.
We would still want to put a time limit on that dedicated fund, but we can also set that time limit to come back and re-ask. So we can do things like, your funds will close your bank account so that there are no fees or anything. Right now, your bank account is fee-free, but if we keep that bank account, somebody's got to report on it. And since a Hamlet can't have officers or doesn't have officers, we pull that money into an account that is getting reported on, right? Which is why we would move it to Northkeep. We can put a dedicated fund. The normal time limit for a dedicated fund that was in place when I was Kingdom Exchequer, may have changed, I don't know, is about 2 years. If we haven't made the change or made the decision to retry to go back to become a Canton again at that time, we can ask again. And we can extend that timeline. It is not a hard, fast, if we don't meet this date, we're done. And that's the difference between going dormant and becoming a Hamlet. When you go dormant, there is a hard time limit. And if you need longer than that, you have to get a variance from the Kingdom Seneschal. And if you go longer than that, you're done. And we didn't want there to be an end date on this because, like I said, we have lots of new people and they're still trying to figure out what their love of the SCA is going to be.
Absolutely.
And I feel like we should give them that time.
There's another question in the
It's
chat. Theoretically, I guess the time limit is the current end of the experiment if it isn't adopted as a group status. Is that correct?
In theory, yes.
We are unsure. I'll be brutal honest with you. I don't know what the bot is going to do at the end of the experiment, which is July of 2027, to groups that have taken the Hamlet status. If they decide then that we're turning everybody back into a canton, then that's what we do. If they decide that we're going to go ahead and let the Hamlet thing stick, then we let the Hamlet thing stick. I need you guys to understand you're not first. There are lots of kingdoms, not just lots of Onsteoran groups, but lots of kingdoms that have jumped on this and are saying this is a good thing. I don't see it going away. That, of course, is not a promise. I don't control the bond in any more than anybody else in this room does.
Yeah.
Right? I can tell you that the experiment is due to end on July, like I said, at the end of July of 2027. And the bod will have to make decisions at that point about whether Hamlets keep going or whatever. But we have at least until then to figure out what our group is going to look like and what it's going to do. And that's a long ways off, really, in group speak, right?
So is the bank issue the only con to the whole thing?
So Chemin Noir can't own property. The group can't own property. Y'all, of course.
Right.
And they can't have funds. Northkeep would need to hold those for you. You guys are already a canton of Northkeep, so you guys are already used to being a supported group. The biggest thing that would change is the title. You guys would keep your group name, you would keep your group heraldry, but instead of the canton of Chemin Noir, you would be the Hamlet of Chemin Noir. If you did,
Does property mean like the armor and things like that, or?
if you have loaner gear that is owned by the group, that becomes owned by Northkeep.
Okay,
And so is reportable on our inventory list. The important thing here is that whatever the SCA owns has to be reported on.
right.
And because a Hamlet doesn't have reporting officers, Northkeep has to report all of those things. We are not saying you can't use your loaner gear here.
Right.
We're saying that we need to make sure that the Northkeep officers know that loaner gear exists and belongs for the duration to Northkeep, and the Hamlet is using it. Right?
That's correct.
Just like your funds. It belongs to Northkeep because it's in our account. Right.
The other comment in the chat is they'll still let you store and use the equipment.
Yeah, we're not saying you have to give it up.
Right.
That's not it. It just has to be reported on so that when taxes are due, we know what we own.
So basically, in a nutshell, what you're saying is that ownership changes, however, possession does not.
Correct.
Correct.
That's exactly a nice way to put it.
Yeah. And I think
Just stupid simple.
Will touched on this, but I want to make sure that we're clear. The other, and I hate the word con because it's not really a con. The other important thing to note is if you decide that you're ready, it makes
Yeah.
too much noise. We can't hear.
Because the unit's right there.
Oh, okay.
And it's not bad in here. So
Sorry.
to me, the fat guy says it's not bad in here. So,
Well, apologies.
no, you're fine.
The other concept, the other thing, the biggest important thing to be in your mindset is if you do decide that you want to go back to being a canton, you guys get your feet under you. You've got a core of people who are ready to be officers. They're ready to take on the reporting, and you want your monies in your own bank account and all of that stuff, is you have to go back through the petitioning process.
And that can happen between now, or if.
And whenever.
And 2027.
There is no time limit. It doesn't have to be 3 months, 6 months, a year.
2 years,
whenever.
Or, well, unless the law changes that, of course,
Right.
obviously. So it could be 10 years. It could be
Yes, that's correct.
However long. Okay, all right. So.
Basically, it gives the Hamlet the ability to build its strength without having the drain of all the official stuff that goes with being a canton.
So
officer.
Chemin Noir controls its own destiny. Is what you're
Basically,
saying.
I do want to be clear. The kingdom, the principality, Northkeep, the bod, they're all going to be looking, still paying attention to, are you doing SCA things?
Right.
Are you having fighter practice? Are we doing an occasional A&S class? Are you coming to events? Are you being SCA? And that's going to help drive the continuance of the experiment, as well as the continuance of your ability to be a Hamlet.
And that's not stopping any of you, if you want to be an officer, come be a baronial officer, or kingdom or region.
Or be a deputy so that you don't have the reporting requirements, but you're learning how to do the job. That is an option as well.
It's also not stopping you from taking any classes.
Exactly.
Learn how to be an officer.
Right.
Or just to expand your knowledge of how the SCA works.
Is there any other questions?
There's some commentary in the chat about when the experiment will end. Koke did find a designation that the Hamlet designation must be renewed every 2 years and is subject to denial by the Kingdom Seneschal. But that's from Middle Kingdom.
And that would be also based on performance and activity levels and membership levels.
And that is how the Middle Kingdom is handling them. Onsteora does not yet have a Hamlet in existence. I will say once again, you are not the only group who is asking for this, which is showing not just Onsteora, but the BOD, the need for this level.
So the question that I have is we know that there are other Hamlets out there, that how are they doing? What did they decide to do? How is that affecting their unit that sponsors them, or the group that sponsors them? How does that affect their region, their kingdom?
So the last group that became a Hamlet that I'm aware of happened in April.
Okay.
I don't have any understanding of how they're doing. All I can say is I can only imagine the relief of the 3 people who were being their officers to get a minute.
True.
Right?
Right, because when you play Russian roulette like that on officership, and it continues for years, it's a hard burden for those small group of people to continue.
And that's the
doing what
reason
they
why
do.
the experiment was created.
And I am very glad that the BOD decided to do this experiment for groups just like that.
So
Susie, what's your report?
the,
Yes or no? I have text.
the BOD has asked us, and the Kingdom Seneschal has asked us to do a poll for you guys. This is not a blind poll. The results will be shared with you as soon as we get them. Okay? Kim, if you wouldn't mind handing everybody out one. There will also be a poll online. I believe I have to, give me a couple, somebody point today, I will have it up and running. For those that couldn't be here, because I wasn't aware I had to do it that way. But there will be an online poll for those that couldn't attend.
We are also asking the members of the barony if they have an opinion. We are letting them voice their opinion and their concerns. We want to hear them.
So I have a question. I mean, not.
Ask it.
just-
Ask all your questions. What we're here for.
Okay, so do we get to choose the barony or the sponsoring group?
You cannot.
Oh, okay.
You have to be your sponsored group has to be the same group that sponsored the Hamlet.
Oh, okay, so if for chance we were a shire and we were sponsored as a canton from another group, barony of, Blackwater or
A
whatever.
shire would make you a Hamlet of the kingdom, I believe.
Okay,
But because you are a canton of North Keep, the Hamlet
right,
has to stay as of North Keep.
that's fine, I was just, curious.
Yeah.
Alright.
And when he said that the poll is not blind, we will tell you what the results are, but we are not going to tell you who voted which way.
So it's not like Bubba voted this way
Right.
and Cindy voted this way.
Nope.
and-
But you will get to know, I'm sorry?
Just overall.
Right, but you will get to know the overall outcome.
Okay.
So take a moment, look at your form for me, please. Please fill out all the contact information. Yes, it is important that you fill this information out. The reason why is so that one, the BOD and the Kingdom Seneschal can make sure that you are a resident of this canton.
Ling Ling.
I got some 2.0s here.
Oh, I need like 125s.
Then make longer
I'm
arms.
blinder than you.
150s.
You may have to, no,
I don't even know what these are. I can't read them with my eyes not
I
on
think
them.
they're
I
twos.
left my.
Before we take this, are there any other questions that have not been answered? Feel free to ask.
Because I've been, taking a step back for a hot minute because I need it. Does Chemin Noir have any goals? Going forward, are we still gonna be business as usual?
You guys can still gather and kind of get an idea.
Okay,
of this.
As far as I know,
I didn't know if there was anything
planning on doing, so.
on top of anything else.
I know in November we had an offer for doing a demo here,
Yeah, cool.
And you can still do those things.
so.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Okay, so this is another question for out there, is that since we will, if we decide to go to a Hamlet, would our designated funds be used for items for Chemin Noir? So say, for example, like you mentioned, Your Excellency, if we decided to do a sponsored activity at Wildwood's event, could we use those designated funds to support that designated activity? And then whatever proceeds, either donate or whatever the plan was for more loaner gear or what have you.
If all of the proper paperwork is filled out,
Yes.
absolutely.
There's a question in the chat. Will fighter practices still require an officer to be present?
Yes.
To be an official fighter practice, yes. That is an SCA rule that to be official, there has to be an officer, which means an officer of North Key, which is why Fakan keeps coming to your fighter practices because he's an officer. He has made it clear to us that his absence here today is in no way a sign of dissupport for anything that you guys decide. He has made it clear to me that whatever you guys decide, he will support that as well.
Would a deputy be sufficient?
No, it has to be an officer.
Any officer?
Has to,
So
So for
any
example,
officer plus an authorized marshal.
plus an authorized marshal.
That
So
could
if
be
they
one
were
and the
one
same.
and the same, that'd be great. But if since I had just sort of recently stepped down as Kingdom Herald, I could be there as the officer,
if you were still an officer, yes.
if I were still an officer. And then whoever as an authorized marshal
Yep.
may not be
Yes.
an officer.
Yep.
Okay.
And that's true of any group regardless of size. That's not a Hamlet rule. That's a fighter practice rule.
Yeah, that's cool. I just wanted to make sure that I was crystal clear.
When you guys are finished with the poll, can you just put them on that envelope for me and we'll gather them up here in the end? Or you can just shove them in there, I don't mind either way.
One of the important pieces on this piece of paper is make sure your zip code's right. It should ask for your address. Make sure your zip code's right. Because that's what determines whether you live inside of Chemin Noir.
If you need another one, if you make mistakes or something, I will gladly give you another copy. Because you don't feel like we need to forget everything.
And for those that are online, we will have an online poll that will be identical to this posted later today.
The three of us have had an opportunity to talk this over quite extensively, guys. I'm gonna tell you this. For groups that are struggling, this is ideal. It gives you guys a moment to rest, but also still a chance to grow.
Okay, my question is a Hamlet being formed in general, hypothetically? How would this help or hinder the local group, the sponsoring group, their region, and kingdom? And I know we kind of touched base on this, but specifically this one is really what I'm asking about. How will Chemin Noir be dissolved into a Hamlet? Help/hurt both Chemin Noir, well, or hurt. Because we've talked about the pros all day. But what are the cons on this, or some of the things that stumbling blocks?
Well, one of the stumbling blocks I think some people may have is the fact that you are now under the supervision of the Baron. You're no longer autonomous.
They weren't autonomous before because they were
We
Canton.
really weren't, because we were a Canton and we were used to working very closely with the Baron, so I don't think that that's going to change. But what's going to change for the barony?
So one of the cons is your money is in our account. Our
Yeah.
financial committee gets to make the final decision.
Yeah.
And not y'all. Does that mean that they're not going to take your voices into consideration? Absolutely not. But it does mean that if they disagree, they have the right to say no.
Comment in the chat that dormancy is limited to 2 years.
So,
Right, so her ask is what are the cons, not what are the pros.
Right.
The pro is that there's the time limit can be extended on a Hamlet
absolutely.
and not so much on a dormancy. The other con is because you don't have officers, the officers above you are not going to be as involved in what's happening in your group. So the ANS minister of North Keep isn't going to be expecting an ANS report from Chemin Noir. And so there may not be the push as heavy of what are we doing in the ANS world. And I'm just throwing at ANS, right? Pick any officer you want, right? That could be a con. It may not be, but it could be, right? I feel like North Keep has always been very much in support of Chemin Noir, and I don't see that changing. I really don't. But for some other groups, it may very well. Because again, there is no reporting, it will be easier for y'all to slip through the cracks. You're still a recognized group, but you're not on every month's reports.
So what you're saying is the communication channel from foot soldiers to officers is really not going to be there anymore, correct?
It's not
Unless
as
you make it-
necessary as it was before.
Right.
When your
It's no-
officers were reporting up to ours.
It's no longer forced.
Right.
Right.
It now becomes optional.
Communication is always
Oh,
necessary.
yeah.
I mean,
And of
Yeah,
course,
it's
It's
nowhere
just-
mandated.
so it's going to be an as needed situation kind of thing.
Right, like you guys will still sign waivers at fighter practice. We'll still need to report that fighter practice occurred, but it'll be on our reports, not yours. If you have an ANS class, right, we want to know because we may want to attend, but also it needs to be on our reports. And so that's where the job of the one liaison may be a little heavier than spreading the load just to keep the communication lines open. It won't be harder, right? Because there's not 47 reports that have to be done. There's just hey, this is going on up here. Y'all need to know about it. Hey, this is going on.
on
And
this day, we're gonna do this.
there is, according to the rules of a Hamlet, there is one person responsible for that. Doesn't mean not everybody can do it. It means one person is responsible to make sure it happens.
You're saying at least one.
Right. Now, I'm saying everybody can tell us that things are happening.
Oh, sure.
But there is an expectation that there is a liaison between you guys, a liaison. So if we have questions about, hey, is this really happening? We're hearing rumors that this and this and this. We're going to go to the liaison and say, and I'm just picking people because you got sparkly and
Yes,
I
you
like
got the
sparkly,
sparklies. So we-
right? The sparkle is real. But we're going to come to you and go, this is what we're hearing. How can we need to steer the ship differently. What's the best way for us to help? Right? But we're going to come to whoever the liaison is.
And that person has to be a paid SCA member.
And that person has to be a paid SCA member. There you go.
So on its impact on the barony, we know that impact on Vinham politically.
So you're still a group, still a recognized group. You're still members of Vinham. Your zip codes stay in Vinham.
Yep.
Your membership stays in Vinham. And Vinham should really have very little impact of this other than they get to claim that they were part of the Hamlet expectation or experiment.
Yeah. And then again, on your side.
And Onsteora is the same way. And again, you guys are not the only group in Onsteora. Right now, I have not heard of other groups in Vinham. Not saying it's not happening. I'm saying I haven't heard of them. Please know that I am not the grapevine. I'm way over here on the end of it. I don't even know anymore. But we have, Jeffrey and I have had conversations with another set of landeds in Southern Onsteora about this exact question because they have a group that wants to go that route.
2 comments from the chat. Per the SCA Seneschal Handbook, a deputy counts as an officer. The barony becomes responsible for tracking items in your possession for the hamlet and funds. And actually, there's a third one. Is the liaison considered an officer?
No. A hamlet does not have officers. That's the definition.
It would be like if you were just a Medicare liaison.
Right. And thank you for the clarification on
Absolutely.
deputies. I had no idea. Who was, who made the deputy?
That would be-
No, that's a good question.
Oh,
And you're
that was
probably
from the
thinking
Vintage
people
Seneschal.
Oh, okay.
might have words for it, so that's okay.
So the deputy comment came from the Vintage Seneschal.
Oh, sweet.
Is
Okay.
blessed.
Thank you.
Um,
Trying to be a deputy.
Okay. Well, there's-
Thank you, Laura.
The liaison is not an officer. They could be if they wanted, but not inherently. Liaison is just contact person and woohoo on the deputy because that makes things easier.
And I think that that's what, I hope that's what you took when I said the liaison is not an officer in and of itself.
Yes. Yes.
You can be an officer,
Yes.
but it's not because you're a liaison.
I'm not saying that this is official, but I wouldn't mind taking them as a deputy.
Right.
I wouldn't mind.
No, I don't think anybody would mind.
I definitely could find some stuff to help you with. But no, that would be an awesome idea.
Yeah, I was asking questions because I think that maybe some people were maybe thinking along the same lines and didn't know how to coordinate. the
You've been at
question.
this longer than we are, you know what questions to ask.
And I want to be transparent. I asked people to attend online because, again, new people may not know the right questions.
Right.
And I wanted to make sure that you guys went into this not blind. I didn't want you guys to go, well, Aki says we should, so we should. And
Come on, Aki, really?
and I didn't want Aki to say,
This is hard.
I also didn't want Aki to say that we should be doing this because Adalia said it, or because Charles said it, or because I want you guys to understand what the change means. I want you to understand that it is a change. And sometimes change is scary. I get it. Right?
And the
But the
people
more-
in chat want you all to know that you're supported too.
And, right, yeah, this is huge, guys.
I'm just glad this was an option because we were talking about it before. I'm like, I was so not for it. Like, not at all. Like, I don't want to dissolve. I don't want to do the thing. And then this was an option. I'm like, that's a little easier to take than just dissolving the whole thing. 'Cause
Well, yeah, because we've all worked so hard. And then with the new people that we've gotten that have yet to meet, yeah, I would hate for that to happen to them. So, but I just want to make sure that that we're asking questions and understanding and not going into this frivolously and just, as a, okay, whatever. And really consider what is best, not only now for Chemin Noir, but for the next 6 months and the next year and possibly the next year after that. And would this really honestly give the people who are working diligently in this canton right now and have been for the past 2-3 years, a chance to rest, to relax, to find they're happy in the SCA again, instead of having to go, oh my God, there's what to do again, or oh my God, I have this question, and to be overwhelmed with the officership, because it is harder at this level, or more difficult to maintain at this level than it is at any other level. So that's what I really want everybody to understand where I'm coming from.
I want everybody to understand that the barony itself supports you guys in your decision on whichever direction you choose to do. We're here to take care of you guys, however you want to do it. If you guys want to still dig in the trenches and hold your ground, by all means, we're going to stand behind you 100%.
Same thing. So the chat's agreeing with that.
Yeah,
So you know.
everybody in the chat is super supportive. You've got support from down south all the way through Vintheim. Everybody is in agreement. Like it's about the importance. We all understand this is important, and no matter what is decided, you're going to be part of the North Keep family, and you're going to continue to do so. And everybody wants what's best for Chemin Noir. And then there's some other comment. In ways, this will help the stress still allows representation and participation, and we want you to still exist because you always exist to us. So,
And the
lots of
important
love.
thing to me is that it still allows Chemin Noir to be part of your identity. Because like I said, you don't lose your heraldry and you don't lose the name. So you are still Chemin Noir. It's just like when a group changes size, any group, right? When North Keep stood up from being a shire, when other groups change size.
Or when Anaheim stood up.
Okay,
I think
All about what's best for the group.
right. It is all about what is ultimately best for you guys. It's not about anybody else but you. But it is also important to me that y'all know that you're not alone. You're not doing it by yourself.
That's not coming just from them, it's coming from the Barry as a whole. Even Wildwood's in support of you guys, taking, whatever you guys need. We're one family.
And they're watching with interest.
So
Because it's an experiment, there will be a microscope.
always,
Yeah.
just know, we're all doing the same solid things together.
Petri dish.
Yay. Are there any other questions either online or in the room?
I think everybody wants to know what
Yeah,
the results
you
of the
would mind
poll are,
getting
but we
the
won't know that for a bit yet.
Yeah.
Oh, if you're not finished, that's fine.
I have a question. When we open the online poll, how long will we be leaving it open?
Let's give until populous tomorrow.
Oh, I think we should give it longer than that.
Let's give it until next Friday, or this coming Friday.
Okay, so we'll be leaving the online poll open for a week just to make sure everybody's got a chance. Because not everybody watches Facebook. We need to have time to get an email out, Discord notices out, and give people a minute to go answer. So please know that you're not likely to have an answer tomorrow. We will of course be mentioning it at Populous tomorrow evening in Northgate. I just want to set expectations. You're not going to have an answer tomorrow, but it'll be soon, right? And we'll know what we're doing.
Is there any other questions, concerns, hopes, dreams, admirations, goals? Word of encouragement, discouragement?
I'm just happy not to lose the name.
Yeah.
That's something that is.
Yeah, and that identity is very important, I think, with all of us. Not only are we on Stewart,
Is there any other
we're North
concerns?
Keep, but we are definitely always gonna be Chemin Noir.
The Chemin Warriors.
Hell yeah.
So I know you said a lot about the reports and stuff, and we don't have to do all that, and it's all falls on you and everything. That there could be a chance that we would fall through the cracks on some stuff. That being said, I'm taking us back to communication, I'm so sorry.
Oh,
But if our liaison needs help with something, like we need help, is there a chance that we slip through that crack and
No.
don't fall?
Not
on
under my
deaf ears?
watch.
no, the slipping through the crack is the other direction,
Okay,
right? If you guys ask for help, we're here.
okay.
Your liaison can also change people. If your liaison is tired, having a moment of life, it doesn't have to be the same person forever, right? It's not putting the onus on an individual forever, because the SCA is not about doing
This
that
month
to any
it's A,
person.
next month it's B.
Wow.
I think it needs to be a little longer than that,
But
but
I'm just saying.
I would say a year, since that's memberships are a year.
I would say that would be a good estimate.
So I have a question.
Okay.
I do another one. So dissolving the canton, which has to happen, and becoming a hamlet, is that a one-step process? Basically, okay, so you're applying to be a hamlet, and you're also applying to dissolve your group. Boom, okay, yes, all in one.
they can happen all together, yes.
Are they going to be considered, different, different, as in the petition for dissolution? Okay, you got that. Petition for hamlet, yeah, no, we don't like that.
No.
So,
If you petition to dissolve and become a hamlet, if they choose not to let you be a hamlet, you will not be dissolved.
Oh, okay.
Is that what you're asking?
That is exactly what I am asking.
It is, in this case, a
It's an all or
unified,
nothing thing.
it's a unified thing, yes, ma'am.
Instead of being sold, it's more like being shipped.
It's not, from what she's saying, from the BOD's perspective, the canton will no longer exist. So the canton is being dissolved. But what we're saying by asking to make them a hamlet is, we don't want to dissolve if we're not becoming a hamlet.
Right.
Right.
And that's why the question is asked, do you want to dissolve and become a hamlet? There's not a, do you want to dissolve? Do you want to become a hamlet? Do you want to keep going as a canton? It's, your choices are dissolve and become a hamlet, keep going as Chemin Noir at this moment. If we decide that later we want to talk about dissolving as a unit, that is not what this conversation was designed to do. And that's why that question is not on this form. Because our question today is keep going as a canton or become a hamlet. And if we decide that we're going to keep going as a canton, then we have to step up and fill all the officerships, and we have to fill all of the reports, and we have to do all the things that a canton does. And if that doesn't happen, then we have the conversation of, do you want to dissolve?
Yeah.
But they are not, they will, it is my understanding that because they're looping this process all as a group, as a thing, as a one-step process, it is, there is not a risk of being dissolved without getting the hamlet.
Okay.
Just so you know, there's 10 more people online being part of this conversation. So when we say that you are being supported, it's not just,
Words.
yeah.
All right. Everybody done with your ballots?
I am now.
Okay.
Are there any other questions from the live stream before we shut it down?
I don't have any more. Thank you for answering them. I
Absolutely.
appreciate it.
And again, if you have questions that pop up, you can always email us, text us.
I don't have glasses on, but I don't see the chat changing.
Whatever. My office is always open. My phone's always available to you guys. Everybody
we
knows
had
how
some
to
struggles at
use
the
me
beginning.
Pretty much. If not, I'm not hard
We-
to find.
For those that are on the stream, know that as soon as we noticed you were having struggles, we paused the meeting completely until we could get those struggles worked out.
Thank you.
Yep.
Your Excellencies, would you like to extend the pullout to next Sunday so it gives them a full week?
Next weekend is Labor Day, no?
Friday.
Okay, Friday
Friday.
it is.
Still later this year.
All right, you ready to wrap it up?
All right, so I'm gonna wrap up the stream and therefore the question and answer session. I'm not saying that we're not here and available for more questions if you have them. Oh, do we have one right now?
No.
Oh, I'm sorry, I saw your hand
She was,
stretching. I got you, it's all good. I just wanted to explain where we are so that the people in the chat know what's going on. So thank you guys for your attendance. Thank you guys for your support. Thank you for having us here to support you all. All right, you guys you on the stream have a great day. Thank a lot.
thank you.
We love you. Bye-bye.
And it's